Ladies, good evening. And oh my gosh, what a way to start this podcast. I was literally just taking a shower to come here and get, ready for the live and, bring you the recap of Salt Lake City and Miami. But as I'm getting ready, I get a notification that one of the people that I have wanting to leave Housewife Universe actually left tonight. Lisa Rinna is out. Yes, we won. We have won. But before we get into it, I want to do the recap first. If you want to join me to celebrate Lisa Rinna's leaving House of Beverly Hills, stick around because we are going to do that. We are going to talk about why Rinna has been overstaying her welcome on that franchise and how this news changed the future of Beverly Hills. Like literally, this is going to be so good, you guys, because the dynamics of that show has been changed with this departure. But before we start with that, let's talk about Salt Lake City because this is not gonna take that long. That episode was a hot mess and not in a good way. I like messy stuff. I like messiness, and Salt Lake City is not given this season. This season has been so contrived, badly edited. There's so much footage missing. I don't even know where to start. And we are one episode away from the finale. Literally, the season finale is next week. And I'm still wondering what they're going to talk about at the reunion because beside the black eye that Heather doesn't want to talk about, they're not going to be talking about Jen Shah because she's not going to be there. And obviously, this whole entire season was a pretending that her case was not happening. That's how this lady were acting this whole entire time. And during the first scene, it's still at the Greek goddess dinner that they were having. And the first question of the night was from was from Whitney to Heather. She was asking her if she had a black eye and what was the reasoning. And Heather, once again, started to play this weird, awkward behavior. She was looking at Jen, saying like, "Do I have a black eye? I don't know. I don't remember. I have makeup on. You can see it? Oh, I didn't know." I was so confused by this whole interaction that the more that Heather tries to not talk about it because she's protecting someone or something, it's making me believe more and more that Jen Shah is the one who gave her the black eye. And I'm going to tell you why. She always looks at Jen when she talks about the black eye as if Jen knew something. Her body language is just bizarre when she is talking about the black eye and Jen Shah is present. They have this weird interaction as well in the bathroom when Jen Shah left the table because Dana, finally somebody, rise to the occasion and ask the questions and say what everybody else is thinking. She directly told Jen Shah, "I heard from somebody who was working for you that now it's a given information cooperating with the investigation, and it's saying that you knew what was happening." She told that to Jen Shah. And I'm like, finally somebody is talking about this case because we are pretending that nothing is happening. And not for nothing, she is involved directly in this case. Even if she was innocent or not, she's been directly investigated. And nobody was asking questions. Nobody was even acknowledging the case. It's like they were pretending. Even Erica Jane, who everybody knows how I feel about Erica Jane. Everybody knows that. I think that she acted like a fool and an asshole towards the victims of Tom Girardi's scam. But even Erica Jane couldn't escape the questioning because some of the paperwork were showing that somehow she was involved in some level. I'm not saying that she was the mastermind. She's not directly being investigated. She is part of it because she was married to this guy. But Jen Shah is actually the person of interest in this case. So for these women to sit around, travel, have a kiki, and ignore those facts is mind-boggling. And let's be honest, the only reason why they are not talking to her about it is because they know how she reacts. And we saw that last night too as well. When Dana confront her, she explodes. She literally pointed at her choice, check your sources. And if you want to check the sources, we have victim statements right now. They show how not only she knew what was happening, how she was, making them feel. Some of them have heart attack from stress. A lot of some people lost their home. A lot of those people lost a lot of money, their savings, everything that they worked so hard. They lost it because Jen Shah and their circle of employees or whatever you want to call it were running a scam, and now finally on the show somebody is pointing that out. So kudos to Dana. She came prepared to face Jen Shah, and somebody had to do it because nobody was saying it, but they were all thinking it, you know. And Dana said that too. She said like, I'm tired of seeing everybody here not saying anything. You know? Well, in that moment, Jen Shah left the table and she ran to the bathroom and Heather followed her and whatever. So what happens? Heather, once again, act very weird, saying that she knows, but she's loyal and she's gonna take it to the grave, and people knows that she is, protecting somebody, whatever. The more she talked, the more I kept thinking she is protecting Jen Shah. And I want you guys to go on my Twitter or my Instagram or go to the YouTube comments and let me know how you feel about this. Do you think that Jen Shah is involved in this black eye? Or do you think that maybe, just maybe, Heather fell, tripped, doesn't remember, and now is trying to add that she was abused for storyline? And both cases are not good for Heather because one is protecting somebody and she just should have said it if she wanted to talk about it. The other one, if she fell and hit her eye and she's pretending that somebody hit her, that is making a mockery of domestic abuse. And on top of that, we have the fact that she's trying to sell a book, which on Watch What Happened Live, Andy, and actually no, the virtual callers asked Whitney how she felt about Heather saying that she was going to reveal what happened on the book. And Whitney said, well, she might have to rewrite the book. And that's true. That book was supposed to be written before the season starts. So unless she has like magic powers and know what's happening in the future, to me feels like a tactic to sell a book that from the beginning, that goddamn book looks so like boring. Bad Mormon. I don't want to know. I don't care. If I'm not interested on Heather on the show, I'm not going to run and buy a book about her life or whatever she's trying to sell me because I'm not interested. We also have a nice moment between Whitney and her brother. They're talking about her journey and how she is been finding herself. I appreciate that. Those moments, even though sometimes can be a little cringy and kind of like staged, I liked this Whitney. The one that, it's on a journey of self-discovery, of growth, and I mean, yeah, it sounds cliche, but some of us go through that in life. We had that moment of awakening, and we try to find answers to situations that happened in the past that we blocked, you know, things that we experienced. From my perspective, that is great for the Housewife franchise because at least it gives a little window to their lives outside the drama and the messiness that is happening around them. Like, for example, when she pulled out that little photo of her when she was 13, and, her brother said, like, look at that girl and look what she's now, look where she's going. Remember that girl that way. That is beautiful, and I appreciate those moments. And kudos to Whitney for, you know, going on TV and show that side of her. Like I said before, Housewives, though, used to be that back in the days. When you first started, yes, it was about drama and there was some like really dark storyline, like, we have in Beverly Hills, Russell and Taylor's story. You'll If you watch season one, season two, you know what I'm talking about. I don't want to talk about that right now because that's too heavy and too dark. But at the end, Taylor herself wanted the story to be told from a perspective of give me a voice about domestic violence. And to me, that was important to be told. The same thing that happening right now with Whitney. You know, Housewife has changed over time, which is, I mean, changes are you can't stop change. Shows are not gonna be the same as they were 10 years ago, but I feel like in a lot of those cases have been going backward, and we only focus on criminals, perhaps, or they have to have some like physical fight or some legal battle for us to be entertained. I appreciate those human moments. And maybe that's why I also like the non housewife shows on Bravo that are more focused on dynamics and real connection, like Family Karma, Southern Hospitality now. Um, I like those shows. Vanderpump Rules. They have drama, but it feels like that drama it's more organic and less focused on the heavy topic and more on a human uh, point of like evolving or growing or going to a place or finding goals and meeting goals and having friends and family. That's why I watch those shows and I enjoy them more now than some of these housewife storylines. I'm still shocked though that even in the moments of showing some humanity, Jen Shah fails to do so. There was a moment where she's talking to somebody on over Zoom, and she's saying that her biggest fear is her sons like seeing this in the public, and I feel bad for them. Those kids are the only people on Jen Shah camp that I feel really bad for the actions that she did. You know, I said it before in a previous podcast. Kids are always the parents' collateral damage of their actions. And I'm saying that from a personal experience. I'm not saying that just you know, I'm just trying to grab, you know, ideas from air. No, I'm actually saying this because I experienced them myself, you know. So seeing what these kids are going through, I feel really bad at that age, and especially nowadays where social media it's a big part of the youth, you know, young generation lives on their phone. They understand technology. They are on Instagram, on Twitter, on TikTok. You know, it's impossible to avoid this conversation, and it's impossible for their friends not to know what their parents are going through because they're such a public figure. So, even though I do feel real bad for those kids, seeing Jane Shaw on TV crying, trying to pretend that she's innocent, and we know now what happens at the end, which is going to air on the next episode, is how she acknowledged and become, she pled guilty, it's I I will be covering this trial tomorrow. I'm going to do a live tomorrow night with all the information that I gather throughout the whole day, and we are going to talk about it. But the kids are the only ones that I feel bad on her camp. And I'm sorry, Coach. You have my sympathy, but I need more time to this to figure out if I should feel bad for him too. Because I don't think he was involved whatsoever. I don't think he has direct knowledge of the level of, the criminal behavior they were, you know, going on in her business. But based on some emails and texts, he was advising her in some language and how to talk to clients and stuff. With that said, I do not believe that Coach Shah was pushing her to do any of this or knowing that this was going on. He is a very successful man on his own terms. He makes his own money. He's not dependent on Jen Shah's paycheck like Erica Jane. Erica Jane was funded by the victims. And I'm talking about Erica Jane persona, the persona on the stage. And I'm talking about Erica Girardi. Even though they're the same person, the one that was being, funded by the scam that Tom Girardi was running is her stage persona, mostly. So yeah, I saw that scene between NGK and Kosha and Jen Shah when she was paying back the $15,000 for the party. The check showed that it was Kosha check. So it was coming from his money. That we need to make that clear too. The man has his own income, so we shouldn't be doubting if the check was okay, if it was clear, or anything in that level. I know it's fun to make like a little joke, like did it clear, whatever, because Jen Shah's accounts were gonna be frozen, but it was a kosher check. Let's make it clear here. So That runway show though was absolutely atrocious. I don't know what they were thinking. I'm sorry, Brooks. I said it before. You might want to stick to styling because I know that you like to style your mom like she was a Barbie doll and everything is great. But oh man, oh man, oh man, fashion doesn't love you to the level for you to be a fashion designer. I mean, it's cute that you have the opportunity and the access to, I guess, put random stuff together and show them as a fashion show. But that was a fashion show with no fashion and it was dreadful. You know where that is from. So if you watch Atlanta, you know where they're coming from. I don't get it. I don't understand what he's trying to say with his fashion. I don't understand what the inspiration is. And I have seen many fashion shows in my life, as someone will say. And the vision is usually clear. You kind of know what the designer wants to say, the inspiration, the colors, whatever. But Brooks Mark's biggest, I don't know, like, I guess inspiration is himself or his name because he likes to just to glue gun this stripe of thing with his name on it and that's it. Nothing makes sense. Nothing. Just like this season, you guys. Just like this season, nothing makes sense. That fashion show didn't make any sense. It was for a good cause. I appreciate the cause, but it didn't deliver fashion. It was more like a high school fashion show, talent show going on, and I'm like, okay, good, Brooks, awesome. We are one episode away from the reunion, meaning next week's episode is the finale, and I don't know what they're gonna be talking about. It has been a very underwhelming, badly edited, non storyline season. It's really sad when the friend of cast has more going on and put more work than the actual main characters. The snowflake holders barely have anything to do with the main storylines or barely they were not driving the story. They were not the drivers of the Gensha questioning. That was Dana. Or they weren't the drivers on the pointing out Kosha's birthday party situation. That was NGK. They were not the main drivers on the black eye with Heather. The one who kept asking and looking like a fool was herself. Angie H. For God's sake, Angie H. She had a little appearance last night, once again, for like 2 seconds, because God knows I don't even know why she's there. She even had a better storyline with that awful husband of hers creating a fake account. That's how bad this season was, you guys. I'm shocked. The trailer was so promising, and I said it. God damn it, I said it. When the trailer first came out, and this is a true story, you guys. It's a true story, and people can like vouch on this. I was on Clubhouse. I remember the day that it came out. Everyone was like, "Oh my god, this is gonna be so good." Got all these fights and people are like really like going at it and Whitney versus Heather and Lisa versus Meredith and the Eye and all this stuff. And I'm thinking and I said right there, I was like, I don't know, you guys. This trailer is not giving anything to me beside a black eye. And I said, watch, we're gonna be talking about this black eye for many episodes, and we are gonna get no resolution. And goddamn, I got it right. And I'm mad at myself because I wish it was a good season. It had all the potential, you guys. It had a person in a trial for a major crime, and we didn't even talk about this. How? That's the reason why this season is only like what, 13, 14 episodes? I can't believe that we spent half of a season talking about a choir. A choir. Housewife of Salt Lake City became American Idol for like 3 or 4 episodes. And here we are at the end of the road with no story, no resolution, no black eye because I'm tired of it. No Jen Shah court case until the finale. And they shot that even after they wrapped the season because that's when Jen Shah went to the court to plead guilty. And the season was over. They had to restart shooting in New York City for the finale to change the finale. So I'm sad with this season, and I wouldn't be surprised if they can Salt Lake City for a little bit. I do believe though. I want people to know this. I believe that Salt Lake City will do better without Jen Shah. I think Mary Cosby could be the ingredient that is missing for this show to be interesting once again. Because what Mary Cosby had was a very quirky way of saying things. If you removed the whole church storyline and you see her as a reality TV personality, she's gold. I did not like her racist comments or like her ignorant comments towards like the Asian community and the Mexican community. I do not support that. I'm against any form of racism, microaggression, homophobia. I'm not perfect myself, and I probably had said some probably stupid dumb shit growing up. So it's important for all of us to learn, to listen, to be aware of our surroundings and know how words and actions can affect a person in a community. But if you remove that and you bring her back, her quirkiness might bring that extra spice and that extra fun the Salt Lake City is missing because none of these ladies truly like each other. They are maybe friendly, but I don't think that any of them are true friends. I like the newbies. I like NGK. I like Dana. I do not like NGH at all. But I can see her putting some weight on it. Maybe not giving her a snowflake. Maybe she should be a forever friend of forever. Don't even like think about like giving to her like in 10 years from now. No, 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 no. Just keep her as a friend of, and we'll have a show. Jen Shah, I have always seen her as somebody who was always negative. She was always explosive, reactive. Um, I'm sorry, I don't think she was fun TV to watch. Period. That is my opinion. So I do believe that Salt Lake City is not like going to end because Jen Shah is going to jail. Jen Shah is not Teresa. Teresa is Jersey. Jen Shah is not Salt Lake City. And with that, we are gonna head down to Miami. Miami's the home. Mi casa es tu casa. That song, the Fire by Adriana, it's in my head, and I'm obsessed. This episode was focused mainly on two things: Adriana's music video and Julia making out with a guy. And I'm going to talk about both, but I want to talk about the video first because that's the fun part. I like a nice booty. I like a firm booty, a nice butt, a nice ass. I love all that. And God knows that whoever casted those two guys for Adriana's music video has to be a gay man because those asses were assing and I was living for it. Adriana said, let's give the gays what they want. So she gave us Latin vibes, a yacht, two hot boys in bikinis, and housewife as backup dancers. Adriana literally said, you bitches are my backup dancers. I'm the star of the show. And she's not even a mojito holder. A whole entire episode was about her music. That's how important Adriana is for the show. That's an OG right there. I love her. I think she's just fire, just like her song. She's fire. This fight between her and Kiki was so random too. Because they were fighting over, what was happening between Larsa and Julia, and then what was happening between Alexia and Gertie. And all Alexia was saying is like, it's my day. Why are you bitches fighting when you guys didn't even try to do the choreography for my show, for my video? And Kiki got all mad. I was a little confused of her reaction because I don't think Adriana was that harsh on her. She just said like, you don't know whatever about what's happening. It seemed really random if you think about it. On the other hand, Larsa bringing up the whole Julia kissing a guy at surf club. Once again, it doesn't feel like Larsa truly cares for Julia's in marriage. You know, it was more like a gossipy vibe, and it's annoying. I get annoyed when people try to use gossip to bring a marriage down or to like purposely hurt somebody's relationship because that is gossip. That is gossip. She thought she was doing something. That's the funniest part. She thought that she was doing something by bringing this up to Julia. And Julia was like, you know what, bitch? Yeah, I was making out with a guy. What's the problem? What is the problem? Martina likes to look at the guys. We watch guys' bots and we compare the bots and once again, each relationship, each marriage has the right to create their own rules, has the right to do what it's needed for the relationship to work. We all have done it. We put some rules in our relationships that might not be the standard of relationships. I'm not just talking about open marriages or open relationship or whatever. Some people, some people are happy together and they know what's happening when the other person leave the house, and they might have a fling, or they might have a vacation fling or whatever, and they are happy because they understand that that is just part of the deal. Period. It's nobody's business. Nobody's business. So what Larsa was trying to do this whole entire time is to make Julia and Martina like a target, because there's nothing that bothers people that are not happy in a relationship is seeing people happy in their relationship. And yes, Julia and Martina have been rocky in their marriage, as we were watching in previous episode. But it seemed more like an empty nester struggling to get used to not having kids around. And that happens. You know, when the kids are gone, what is there for the family, for the family dynamic? It's a new environment. Most parents are not alone for a very long time after the kids are born. It's true. I left my house when I was like 18. So can you imagine? Well, my parents were divorced when I was a kid, but my grandparents, they were also part of like my upbringing a lot. I would say they kind of raised me too, as my parents were very busy people. So I think about that too, like the dynamic in a home that is just, Martina, Julia, and the kids. And when the kids are gone, what is there for them to do? Hi, Erin. Thank you for joining us tonight. Once again, thank you for being here. We were just talking about Salt Lake City. Now we are talking about Miami. I was just saying that Martina and Julia's marriage have the right to create their own rules. That's how I feel. Larsa bringing that up to Martina at their party too. Martina was like, "So what? I would rather her kissing a boy than another girl. So what?" You can tell that they have an understanding. Maybe they allow the other person to have fun outside the marriage, and if that works, that works. That is part of a building a future. It sounds crazy, but it sounds crazy because not that many people talks about it. Not that many people are open to say, yes, our marriage is not that traditional, or our relationship is not that traditional. One thing that I appreciate about Miami is the fact that they know when to stop the petty conversation and the petty drama to focus on the bigger issue, which is Lisa's divorce. Lisa arrived to Martina's and Julia's house, and as soon as that woman stepped in, the other ladies stopped talking about whatever drama they were talking about, and their focus went straight to Lisa and making her feel welcome and making her feel heard. Because at that point, that gnome named Lenny was going out to the press saying that it was all lie, that they were not getting divorced, that that was all Lisa's doing and whatever. Well, he's out there partying with that lip licking lizard of a girlfriend. This man is the worst house husband in history. And that is crazy because we have the Joe Gorgas of the world. Like, that's how bad this is. We have the Bedores of the world. And every week, every time that I see what Lisa goes through, the news out there, the news on the show. I'm like, God damn it, Lenny, you are the worst person on earth for doing this to your family. Yes, I'm not opposed at people finding happiness post marriage. If the marriage doesn't work out and they find happiness somewhere else, that's fine. But the way that Lenny was doing all this fucking disgusting mess, honestly, it was horrible. I I don't even know. But it's Lisa's year. She got a new guy. We've seen the news. She's been hanging out with this guy who's a tech person. So you know that the guy at least has no money in the bank. But that scene of her walking into Julia's home and everybody embracing her immediately is why I love Miami. Because these ladies are friends. These ladies are friends. That's what friends do. They know they know when to stop the pettiness and just be there for the other one. Just be there for each other. One thing that Salt Lake City does not have. One thing the most franchises right now don't have. Yes, I feel so bad for those kids because one day they are going to read the news. They're gonna see what happened. They might be too young right now to understand what's happening, but they are going to find out that their dad was a piece of crap to their mother. What she was suffering, this very public and embarrassing divorce, he was out there partying with that lip licking lizard. Embarrassing and sad. Honestly, Miami is by far the best housewife franchise right now. Maybe Potomac close second. And I'm talking about the one that are airing right now. You know, it's definitely given old school housewives. Like I was talking before, there is a lot of ingredients the housewife franchises have, and Miami has it all. Miami has money. Miami has true friendships. Miami has the drama because we need some drama, but they also have resolution. They know how to talk it out and move on and move forward. Yes, they're gonna rehash some past drama to like spice it up, but it doesn't feel like they are hating on each other at all times. I love Potomac too as well. That is to me right now the second spot as a housewife franchise currently airing. I'm excited for New Jersey. I love my New Jersey girls. I'm just a little tired of the Teresa versus Melissa storyline, but I'm full on Teresa's side. I'm full on Jennifer Aiden's team. I'm excited for Danielle, the new housewife. So we gotta watch that one. New Jersey's coming next month. I'm excited. Orange County, eh. Orange County is that franchise that I kind of watch because because it's the OG franchise and you kind of have to watch it. But it doesn't inspire me. It doesn't get me excited. I'm happy that Heather Dubrow is back. I'm happy that Tanner is back. I'm happy that Taylor Armstrong made the transition to the OC. So I'm interested on watching it and see how it goes. But OC is not like even close to like a favorite top 5. My franchises are Beverly Hills, Miami, Potomac, New Jersey. Who else? I will say, I don't know, New York. Yeah, New York. Just because it's like another OG, but New York also kind of lost me a little bit halfway through, the years. But talking about Beverly Hills, I know what we're here for. The news that just broke out. We finally did it. We finally did it, you guys. Lisa Rinna is out. Officially out of the franchise. It's a home run for Beverly Hills. And I'm going to tell you why. Lisa Rinna came on the show playing the villain that she was playing on her soap operas. She didn't come on the show as herself. She didn't come on the show as, let me share my family stories, nothing. We barely know the Hamlins, barely. And she's been on the show for a very long time. And the fact that we don't know them that well, I'm so happy that she's gone. So happy. And I'm gonna be frank. I do not like Lisa Rinna. I don't like her. I don't trust her. It was her time to go. And she overstayed her welcome. Luckily, all this shit show happened last season, and it was a pile of shit that was happening for many seasons. That we run into the year that her the multi-season contract ended, and allegedly they couldn't get an agreement of why she should stay or the money or whatever. It's been her time for a while. Her time ended in the moment that she started talking about Yolanda's Munchausen. I mean, insinuating that Yolanda had Munchausen. That moment right there, the moment that she slammed that glass on the table in Amsterdam and hit Brandy, and the splash of glass also hit Kim Richards, and she almost grabbed her by the neck. In that moment, she should have been gone, because she purposely tried to hit them with the glass. She didn't want to talk about the husband. She didn't want to talk about the kids. She didn't want to talk about her parents. She started talking to her mom years after she joined the show. And we watched that. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not making it up. We watched the show, and we watched when she said that it was so hard for her to visit her mom because she was so far and all this stuff. And she noticed how lovable she was. I mean, the best part of Lisa Rinna was her mom. That was the best part of her being on the show. Her mom. And yes, losing a parent sucks. I lost my dad at a very early age. I was like 18. I lost my dad, and it sucks. But that didn't turn me into a freaking villain and purposely attacking people. And she has been doing this way before Louis's passing. I'm happy that at least I have the happiness or like the memory of having my question being asked directly to her on the last reunion. Just to remind you, to refresh your memory, my question was, why are you using your mom passing to, to excuse your current behavior? So what was the excuse when you were disgusting towards Denise, LVP, and King Richards and Yolanda? I was shocked that Andy actually asked that question verbatim. And at that moment, I realized that he actually asked questions from the audience, because I always thought that he will just make questions up and put some random name from a random state or a random city. But no, he read my question verbatim. And even though Lisa Rinna didn't answer the question, she tap danced around it. At least she knows how the viewers were feeling about the whole thing. So that's going to be a memory I'm going to keep close to my heart. And I'm going to tell you why Lisa Rinna doesn't, is not vital for the show to survive. Beverly Hills had better storylines. Beverly Hills was richer, more interesting, more fabulous before Lisa Rinna joined the cast. The golden era of Beverly Hills was season 1, 2, and 3. And 4, even though 4, people pretend they never existed, because we had two newbies that, to me, Carton is one of the best one-hit wonders on any franchise, especially Beverly Hills. But Rinna, Rinna was just one of those people, over the top personalities, who are doing the most. And at the beginning, people were liking that, and her like few fans were like, "Yeah, Rinna." No, Rinna was the master of just jumping in the drama on somebody else's drama. She never was involved in a drama herself as like her drama or her storyline in all these years. She was always involved on somebody else's issue. And the worst part about Lisa Rinna is that she was using storylines that affected people outside the show. She was using topics that were extremely problematic and dangerous to push this villain persona. King Richard's alcoholism is one of them. And people can say whatever they want to say. Oh, King Richards, she was an alcoholic, so it was good that they call her out. No, 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 no. That is not true. King Richards was going through a lot when Rinna started to say that she was going to die from alcoholism. And the fact that Kyle Richards sat there and said absolutely nothing to her. The fact that she didn't have Kim Richards back like a real sister. The fact that Rinna said that Kyle was enabling her behavior and Kyle did not do anything. Instead, she was pushing for her to stay on the show all these years. I want to know how she feels. I want to know how Kyle Richards feels now that Rinna is gone. And I have Kathy Hilton to thank for too, because we're going to get to that point. We're just going to go from the beginning. Reasons why Rinna should have not been on Beverly Hills and why she's not the show. Munchausen is another one. No matter how she want to paint this against LBP. The one who brought it to the show was Lisa Rinna. The one who said that she was talking to her stylist and her hairstylist was Lisa Rinna. The one who talked about it with everybody on the show was Lisa Rinna. So she was the one driving the story about Munchausen. We have Denise fallout. That was embarrassing. Oh, hold on one second. I'm skipping one very important. LBP. Lisa Rinna put a target on LBP, and she was not happy until she helped push Lisa Rinna out. I mean, Lisa Vanderpump out. And this is what is really funny. Lisa Rinna is the master of bringing people on the show and destroy that friendship. Guess who brought Lisa Rinna to Beverly Hills, or how she was introduced? Because of Lisa Vanderpump. Lisa Vanderpump was the way of the connection of Lisa Rinna into the show. That's how Lisa Rinna was introduced. And then she put a target on her back. And she got her out. They all used John Mellencamp's daughter to do the dirty work, but this was a plan by the other ladies. And it's obvious. The way that she was posting happy birthdays on Twitter towards LBP with pills on a cupcake, the same year that LBP's brother died by suicide because of depression and stuff like that, is fucking disgusting. It's appalling behavior. That's not even being a villain. That's not even being a villain. A villain can be fun. That's just being plain evil. And even though she keeps denying that she knew about it, I'm like, bitch, her brother died many months ago. And then you do that in September. The timeline is way off. You knew. You guys were filming. Like please. So they saw her on her lowest. I mean, Lisa Vanderpump, she was in her lowest. She was depressed. She was dealing with the loss of her, brother, her mom, and, antidepressant and all the stuff inside her system. I mean, it was a lot that she was going through, and they managed to kick her out of the show. They dropped her out of the show. And even though I would love for her to come back, I'm happy that she's not on the show because it's toxic. Until at least half of those people are gone, she shouldn't be on the show. Because now we have Erica Jane and Kyle and Doris still around. LBP is successful. Her show, Vanderpump Rules, is coming back next month. So she's doing just fine. Even though I would love for her to come back. She's my queen. I love Lisa Vanderpump. Then we go to Denise Richards. Once again, Lisa brought Denise to the show and stabbed her in the back. Because Denise got a bigger paycheck. That's the reality. That's why she got pissed. She got pissed that Denise Richards, being the bigger star that she is, being the bigger actress who actually succeeded in acting, got a bigger check than she did. And she was loved by the public immediately. To the point that on the following season, they made sure to paint Denise as somebody who didn't want to be open to the public when all these conversations were done before the show started filming. They knew that Denise was not going to talk about Charlie Sheen's court case with her because they were going through, she was trying to keep her children. They were fighting for their kids. And she was clear, I don't want this to affect the decision. I don't want to lose my kids based off a show. So they created words so they knew what she was talking about. When she's asked, "What were you doing today, Denise?" and she said, "I was working," half of the time that she said, "I was working," she was in the court. It was a court day. And they knew that. But Kyle Richards, being Kyle Richards, manipulative, she kept pushing Denise to talk about it. And obviously, Rinna jumped in it and she couldn't stop talking. Even when Denise asked politely to stop doing it, she ruined a friendship of many years for a contract. The fact that, and I'm saying this so people understand how homophobic that was. The fact that Brandy and Denise had an alleged one night stand or whatever, nobody's business. The moment that Denise said that didn't happen or I don't want to talk about it, that should have been the end. Instead, we had Lisa Rinna going on Twitter calling them the Scissor Sisters or licking pussy or something like that because somebody said, "Oh, Denise Richards being a pussy," or and Lisa Rinna went in reply, "Being a pussy or licking pussy." That was her reply. And then she also said that they were being the Scissor Sisters, which is, for those who don't know, how lesbians sometimes do some, have sex, like they call it sisters. So that's been playing homophobic. She's trying to be quirky, like funny. No, no, that wasn't supposed to be a punchline. When Denise said, "Please stop talking about it, Lisa," she should have been like, "You know what? Fine, I'm done." But she pushed her out of the show. Then we had Sutton and Garcelle, two people that Lisa Rinna brought to the show too, or introduced to the show. On the first season, the Sutton was introduced as a friend of, was supposed to be Rinna's friend. And what happened? Rinna went after her because Rinna can't stand having somebody more successful and more loved by the public than her around. Same thing happened with Garcelle. As soon as she saw that Garcelle was being that girl, the it girl on the show, she went after her. Should I continue? And on the last season, I understand she was going through the loss of her mom. That's when she had said, "You know what? I'm going to bow out. I'm going to bow out and deal with my grieving outside the show." Instead, she went on the show and not only she started use every excuse on the book um, to excuse her behavior. She also created these allegations online about Kathy Hilton. She also attacked fans. She brought Diana Jenkins to our lives. God, one of the worst cast choices ever. Ever. and and we had John Mellencamp's daughter too on the show. So the fact that I feel like Diana was a worse cast choice than John Mellencamp's daughter, it was awful. And Rinna brought it on the show to take down Sutton, and it didn't happen. It didn't happen. The whole Aspen mess was a disaster because of Lisa Rinna. She made it a point to talk about it online all the time with no receipts. And people can say whatever they want to say. Yes, do I think Kathy had a meltdown? Yes. Do I think she was throwing homophobic slurs and stuff like that? No. The only person that I heard saying the F homophobic slur on TV was Erica Jane at the reunion, with the excuse that she was repeating what Kathy Hilton said, and Andy did not check her. And I'm disappointed as a gay man myself that he didn't have the time to explain to Erica Jane that it's not okay to say that word even if she's repeating it to tell a story. Because just like a homophobic slur or you don't repeat a racist slur when you're telling a story because you know that it doesn't roll out of the mouth or your tongue like that because you don't use that word because you know that it's not supposed to be said. But it just rolled out so quickly of that tongue and so confident and so comfortable with with her chest wide open. And Andy did not check her. So, Rena being gone, for those who have been watching the show since day one and know that this show is gonna do better with her gone, it's our time to celebrate. It's our time to say, we did it. We actually are entering a new era in Beverly Hills. Because one thing that was making this show feel stale was Rena and the fourth Fox 5. But mainly Rena. Because she took villain to extreme. She took villain to a point that was unwatchable. She took villain to a point that it was plain evil. So I'm excited to see what is coming because as now the 4 Fox 5 seems like it's shrinking. And I'm so happy about it. We need this alliance to be broken. We needed this alliance to end for this show to move forward. And this is a great beginning. I prefer Erica Jane as a villain because even though I have issues with her, I have issues with her because of her legal battle. As a reality TV character, I find her a little more watchable. I think the show is going to be just fine. And I'm excited for it now. Because as today, we didn't know anything about the casting of Beverly Hills because it's supposed to be starting filming very soon, in the next week or two. So this is the first official cast release. Now we know that she's not signing the contract. She's out. I'm excited to see Erica Jane without Rena. I want to see how she acts when her little partner in crime is not around. I think she's more watchable when Rena is not around. We need this franchise to go back to everybody liking each other and just having minor issues, or you're having conversation that just go wrong. Because Beverly Hills was just feeling so stale. I was hate watching Beverly Hills, and Beverly Hills it's my favorite franchise because I'm a huge fan of wealth, of fashion, of opulence, big homes, extravagant life, and extravagant trips. That's what I love about Beverly Hills, and that's why it's always been my main franchise. Anyone knows this. So the fact that I was watching this show, hate watching this show, I was very concerned about the future of the franchise because big changes needed to be made for it to survive. And this change right now changed the game. And I'm so happy because I am excited and I'm very hopeful that now with this change, the franchise has a reset and we go back to what Beverly Hills was wealthy nonsense. Like Adrienne Malouf washing the chicken with soap because she did not know that that was not supposed to be done like that. Or watching LBP shading Malouf hoof shoes, fighting over who had the better shoe line. Not trying to humiliate people on national TV for the sake of a storyline, like Rinna did with Denise. Or how she was trying to humiliate Sutton last season, talking about where she was getting her money from. That's not her fucking business. And I'm sorry if I'm cursing more than usual because I have a mouth like a pirate. But I'm very passionate about this franchise. So I'm very happy and excited for what is coming. I just don't think that a villain needs to destroy other people's lives outside the show for the sake of it. And that's what Rinna has been done for so many years. We can have fun TV, we can have shady TV shows, we can have shady people on TV, and you can still have a decent soul. I'm just excited to what is next. Beverly Hills is looking like we have a new beginning, a new era is coming. Now that Ren is gone, I want to know what's next because also, if you think about it, last season's cast, Rena is gone. Diana, hell yeah, is gone. She wasn't even invited to watch what happened live. She hasn't even met Andy yet. Like, girl, bye. Crystal, I hope they give her a contract. I have faith in Crystal. Dorit, I still feel like she needs to be demoted. It's just my opinion. She is great in fashion. I love a fashion girl. Like I said before, I love fashion nonsense, and that's all great. But Dorit had the opportunity last year to um to shine with the robbery and stuff. Instead, she became noise, like background noise. The only memorable moment was that dinner with Jamie Lee Curtis when she's like, so chic, so chic, so chic. Yeah, that's cute and everything, but that can be done as a friend of too. All I know is the Sutton and Garcelle better come back. They're my faves, they're my queens, so they better come back. I do think that Kyle Richards' time is also ticking. I believe that Kyle Richards has maybe one or two more seasons before she bow out. What else is out there to know about Kyle Richards? If she never allows the real skeletons in the closet to come out. Because that's one thing about Beverly Hills. They are going to protect each other because it's all about reputation. As we know, that town is all about reputation. And we had seen many news about the Richards that we never heard on the show, but we know that they're out there. Allegations of cheating, allegations of malpractice in the agency, allegations. I want to make sure that you got heard that clear because I don't want to get a lawsuit. but we had seen those news, we had seen the papers, we had seen the documentation. So the fact that they don't bring that up on the show, I always question that. So for Kyle to stay longer on the show, she might have to allow those stuff to come out. Because what else is there? The only reason why Kyle has stayed this long is because she became the glue of the cast. But I think Garcelle is the supreme of Beverly Hills. Mark my words. She can produce without being messy or without being so obvious. She can produce. We've seen it. She produces and she can move a storyline along, doing it great. She knows how to ask questions. She knows when to ask the questions. She knows when to drop a bomb and still be open to her own life. I think I know Garcelle's life more than people who has been there for longer, aka Rinna, even Kyle. So yes, besties, rejoice because we are entering a new era in Beverly Hills. I have a question here. I have a question in the chat. I was asked, what do you think of Brandy? I like Brandy. I like her. Everybody knows that Lisa Vanderpump is my queen, and you know that Brandy and Lisa Vanderpump had an awful fallout. But beside that part, Brandy is great reality TV. She is she's working for her paycheck. She's hungry. She wants it. She's not that rich. She's connected to these ladies, yes, but she's not as rich. She came into the show with freaking uh with a broken leg in a mini dress. That's how you know she was not Beverly Hill type of girl, and that's what made her interesting. But this is what I put a little but here. I think Brandy's energy does not fit the current cast. I think bringing her back will be super random. I think bringing her back doesn't make any sense to uh, restart, like I said, this new era of Beverly Hills. I think Brandy is doing great on Ultimate Girls Trip. She's going to be on the Traders on Peacock. So I hope that she stays working on those type of reality TV shows because I want to root for her. My fear of her coming to Beverly Hills is like currently she's too friendly with Kyle Richards, adding more of a new fire to the 4 Fox 5. It's like bringing back John Mellencamp's daughter. Doesn't make any sense right now. And please, God, do not allow John Mellencamp's daughter to come back because I can't take her. I cannot. But Brandy, I like her. I do like her, even when she's messy, even when she's been too much. She is reality TV gold. That's my take on Brandy. So I do want her to stay working on Peacock or any other Bravo TV type of like reality TV show, not holding a diamond. There's other people who has been on the show that deserve that diamond more based on current dynamics. Denise Richards, perhaps she can have her redemption season again. She was supposed to do 4 seasons. Her contract was for 4 seasons. Um, her contract was cut short because she left. So if you think about it, she might come back with the other 2 years that she was hired for. Who knows? I think the needs make more sense. It was more recent drama. Her connection with Sutton and Garcelle are more organic. Um, she can go after Kyle because Kyle was also a part of the reason why she left the show. Erica Jane as well. So there is more of that type of dynamic. I said it before. If we are going to play teams, I need the field to be even. I need even fields. Like if they're going to be 8 diamond holders, I want 4 and 4. If they're going to be 6, 3 and 3, I do not want the 4 Fox 5 to be like 5 of them and 3 other people trying to figure out how to like stick around without them hating them or pushing them out of the show. That's not fair. And Aaron, I know you love John Mellencamp's daughter, but I cannot. I do not listen to their podcast because of her. I love Tamra. Tamra is funny. I like her, but I don't love her enough to listen to John Mellencamp's daughter voice. I can't. I cannot stand it. Um, but good. Like I respect your opinion and I respect everybody's opinion. We're not gonna like the same housewife, but we can all agree that we are watching these shows because we love the mess. So we have a new era of Beverly Hills coming in the horizon. So be prepared because more news and more casting news, and soon enough we're gonna know more about it because they start filming this month. So besties, whew, yes, that was a long chat. I'm excited. This is my farewell to Lisa Rinna. Goodbye, Rinna. Goodbye. Finally, we did it, Joe. We did it. And with that said, bestie, you know what I say every time that I come to an end? Goodbye, besties.